hoof to go. Hello, I am Chris Noosh, and I am back, and this week I've had a lot to do. So this isn't going to be a normal vlog type thing. I'm probably going to call it a Noosh Extras. The reason for that is, one of the reasons right there, as you can see, that this week I had about 90 shirts to print for the Fudge Factory up in Dahlonega that I do work for. I got to bring those up to them this weekend. Hopefully they're dry, fingers crossed. And I've also had a couple of carvings that I had to do for freelance, and this is one of them. I can't show you the whole thing, but I can show you a little part of it so you know that I'm telling you the truth, that I had a couple of carvings to design and carve, and I'm still not done with them. They are going to go into next week. It's been a good amount of work, which is great. But it doesn't leave a whole lot of time for me to film content for my YouTube channel. So I do have these tiny carvings that I drew out last week, and I'm going to carve one of these real quick right now, and I'm just going to talk and carve. This is going to do two things. One, it's going to get something for me to put up to YouTube for you guys, and I appreciate every one of you that watches these and hangs out and enjoys these videos, so that's for you. And two, it's going to let me clear my head as I go back to my other carvings that I have to do. Not that I don't enjoy doing everything that I do, but personal work just feels different. And this little moose is going to be a little bit of personal work. I guess let's start carving. So today I'm going to be carving a moose. And I think out of all of these little drawings I did last week, this moose is probably my favorite. And it's probably my favorite because it's the first moose that I've ever done as a tiny carving. It is an original. So I'm going to just go ahead and start carving this. I'm start talking about some things as I'm carving it. You saw me, I grabbed the X-Acto knife and I made two little marks, and that allowed me to go up to the edge of that eye, and it would just pop it out cleanly. See, just like that. So I have never seen a moose, but I've heard that they are quite large, and I wonder what it's like to actually see a moose. I've seen some large animals before. We don't have moose in Georgia. I don't think I need to tell you that. Maybe you do. I don't know. Sometimes I know people watch from out of the country. And I know for me that, like, I understand where places that you say you guys are, but I don't really know a whole lot about places. Like, if you tell me you're from England, like, I've got a picture in my head of what that looks like, but I know that picture is probably like London and not everywhere in England and the UK and everything. So I will go ahead and tell you about Georgia, I guess, because I don't know what people think about when they picture the United States or the South. Southern United States, which is where I live. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, technically outside of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in a suburb outside of Atlanta. It's called Marietta. It's about, let's see, about 20 minutes north of Atlanta, the city. And I used to go into the city a lot before COVID. But I don't go in that frequently anymore. Just there's less to do. Less reasons to leave the house, which has not been fun. I think I've been realizing over the past couple weeks that is really starting to take a toll on me, is not being able to leave the house and, do the things that I generally enjoy doing, like the large festivals. It's really that. I was like, really cool to do the large festivals, and they just aren't happening right now. So yeah, I was telling you about Atlanta. Atlanta is a big city. We've got about 5 million people that live in the metro Atlanta area. And it's a city inside of a forest is kind of what people refer to it as. We've got a lot of trees. So anytime like a big storm comes through, one of the things that everyone's worried about is the trees, because the trees can fall down, mainly the pine trees. Well, so I don't know if it's like this in other countries, but about, let's see. Let me do the inside of this eye first. Woo! People like to plant quick growing trees, which are softwood trees, and we've got those softwood trees all over the city, like pine trees and Bradford pear trees, which we've got like 3 Bradford pears in our backyard, and it's technically not our backyard, but I won't even get into that today. Don't ask me. And so when a big storm comes through, those trees fall over and they topple and they hurt things. I once had a car that was crushed by a pine tree. That happened 2011, so it's 10 years ago now. Maybe it's 2009, maybe it's 12 years ago now. It's been a while. And then that was a brand new to me car. So that was sad. But I was able to use the insurance money to get another car. So it was sad. And I liked that car, but I figured it out. So, all right, city within trees, 5 million people. It looks like a big city. You've probably seen pictures of it. It's probably like, what is it, the 8th largest city in the United States. It's very diverse. There's lots of stuff going on. We've got pretty good restaurants. All those restaurants are generally on the eastern side of the city, and we are on the western side of the city. But we got some good stuff over here. It's good food. Nice people. So that is Atlanta. I don't know if that gives you an idea of what the city of Atlanta is. If you have questions, you can go ahead and ask them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. All right, get these little ears in. I don't really know what moose ears look like, and I kind of spray painted this one too dark, so I can't really see what I've drawn. So I'm just going to do that. They kind of look like horse ears, right? Moose and horse are kind of similar. The fact that they both have 4 legs and a neck and a head, and they kind of look like each other. I guess you could ride it. Could you ride a moose? I started this whole conversation on the idea that we don't have moose here in Atlanta. Let me tell you what we do have. 2 times a week, I go to a place around here called Kennesaw Mountain. Kennesaw Mountain is a mountain. It's historically significant to the Civil War in the area. I don't really care about that. There's signs all over the place. The reason I go is because because it's a mountain and I can run up it. And I run up it about twice a week right now. It's fun. It's about a mile to the top and the bottom. And when I go there, I see, it's a mile up and a mile down. I see animals occasionally. The most frequent animal that I'll see there is, any guesses? That's right, deer. Did you say deer? Well, if you did, that's correct. I see deer there most frequently. Squirrel. We have squirrels. When I worked in theme parks, I used to work at SeaWorld in Orlando, drawing caricatures down there. I always found it interesting how the tourists would come in from all over the world, and you're in a park that has so many different kinds of animals. You have the killer whales. You got polar bears. You've got what else? They had beluga whales, dolphins, sea lions, penguins, sharks, all these different types of animals. But everyone was so enamored by the squirrels. And they would, I guess these squirrels were used to being around people, so they would like eat food out of your hands. I remember like they would come up to the stand and like sit in people's laps. That was one squirrel. To a very gentle man called Frank. He would come sit in Frank's lap and eat lunch with him. It was very strange. But the people like squirrels. The people like squirrels. Moose. All right. So, oh yeah, Kennesaw Mountain. I go off on tangents. Hopefully this is watchable. It's probably not, and I apologize. Yeah, Kennesaw Mountain. It's just a recreation area here, and you can. I go there and I run up it, and I run down, and I come home and take a shower and eat dinner, and that's my evening. And then I go and come back down the stairs and I start working on stuff. Let's see, what's something else I've been up to? Let me change the subject. I've also, for the past month, every weekend, I've spent trying to fix our bathroom. So that's been a fun time too. I emailed a couple contractors and I was like, hey, I need help with our bathroom. Some of the tile came up in the shower. It was probably original to the house. Their house is built in the 60s. And I asked for help, and nobody got back to me. So I had to fix it myself. So I've taught myself how to install a shower floor. And I don't know if I did the greatest job on it, but it's almost finished. This weekend I'll be putting the final touches on it. I think this is our 5th weekend working on it. Final touches this weekend, and it'll be usable again. We'll have a shower to use that's not in the hallway shower. So that'll be fun. That's been something that's we've been working on. Yay! Yeah, I was saying that I think I'm getting stressed out by everything that's going on in the world. I'm not going to talk about that because it'll just stress me out more. And 2 is I know everyone's stressed out by all that stuff. And sometimes it's just, it's overwhelming that you hear about it everywhere you go. And I am here to just add a little bit of happy. I'm not here to talk about all that stuff. It's no fun. It's no fun. So, going back to moose, I'll talk about the largest animal that I've ever seen in person. But like in the wild in person, because I've seen, well, I guess the largest animal that I've ever seen in person is a blue whale. And that was in the wild when we were on a little boat in California. There's a blue whale. And you don't really see a whole lot of it. It kind of looks like it's like a big floating thing that kind of goes up and down in the water, and then it disappears for about 10 minutes, and then it goes up and down again in the water and disappears for about 10 minutes, and every now and then you'll see the tail fluke. But it's about 100 feet long, and that was cool, but it wasn't super interesting. The most interesting thing that I've seen animal in the wild, largest, was an elephant seal. And I saw this, we went on a whale watching tour when my dad was working out in, I can't think the name of it. I can't think. I have a sweater that says it too. Santa Claus. Santa, oh my goodness. I can't think of it. And my phone's sitting over there. Anyway, it's in Northern California. well, just south of San Francisco, so not quite Northern California. And we went on a whale watching tour. And when I was talking to some people on the boat about some things that we should do on our way back to San Francisco, and I was told about a recreational or a state park called Año Nuevo State Park. And they had a large breeding population of elephant seals. They're like dunes, and you walk out to the dunes, and then you can walk out and you can see the elephant seals. So we did that, and we walked probably about the mile on the dune out to go see the elephant seals, and we got to a sign that said, "No one allowed past this point, past like noon." And we're like, oh no. So we turned around and I decided to come back tomorrow to the same place and see the elephant seals. And they're very large elephant seals. I think they can weigh up to like 4,000 pounds, and they can be like 15 feet long. And they got big noses. I don't know if you've ever seen an elephant seal. I'm going to throw one up on the screen right there. But they're funny looking creatures. I've done one as a carving once, as a tiny carving. But they're very cool, and I have a special connection to them because I've seen them. It's not really that special, I guess. It just makes you appreciate it when you see things like that in person. Not that I didn't believe they existed, but you have a set of reference for it. So, yeah. Let's see. I probably have some footage that I can put. If I can find some like videos and stuff of it, I'll put it up in the corner as I'm carving too. But that was fun. Those are good times. Marty is scratching her tower now. As soon as I started talking, she jumped down. She was sleeping up on top of one of the cabinets, one of the shelving units that I have down here. It's where she sleeps for most of the day. And she comes down generally around like 3 or 4 o'clock. Most of the time it's around the time that Paige gets home, she'll jump down. She's like, oh, it's time for dinner. But today, she noticed a change because I stopped doing one thing and I started working on another thing. And then she thought that was time for her to jump down and see what's up. See, this is a very slow process. I don't really show the full slowed down 100% carving process very often. And the biggest reason for that is I don't know that anyone would really sit and watch this week after week. But hopefully you enjoy it this time. Let's see, let me think about something that I've got probably about a minute left. Something that I've been watching or doing. One of the shows that I've been watching that I enjoy lately is it's on Disney Plus, and it's called Monsters at Work, and it's not mind-blowing. It's not like the most entertaining show on the planet, but it is fun, and the characters are fun, and I like Fritz. He's the boss. He's voiced by Henry Winkler, who plays Fonzie on Happy Days, and more recently, what's something he's been in recently? I was going to say more recently he's been in The Waterboy. I think that was in the 90s. So I don't know if he's been in anything more recently. And then one more little hoof to go. Hoof to go. Is that a name of is that a good name of like a restaurant? Hoof to go that sells hooves. Hoof to go. Anyways, and this little moose is finished. And that's about how long it takes me to do a little tiny carving. So hopefully you enjoyed watching me carve and listen to me babble as I carve out this little moose. So sorry that I wasn't able to get anything done this week. I have had a lot to do. I want to say I'll be back next week, but I with something big and cool. I can't promise it. I just got a lot going on. And all right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me as I carve this little moose, and I'll see y'all later. Thanks. Bye.